Welcome everyone for the Saturday satsang. This is especially for the young boys. You can come regularly. Every Saturday we have program, and every Saturday we discuss a topic, theme topic based on Bhagavad Gita. So today we are going to discuss about a topic which is should we preach Sanatana Dharma or not? Is a topic. So, if you would have seen the pamphlet what we have shared in the WhatsApp group, there it is mentioned, should we preach Sanatana Dharma in bracket Hinduism or not? So generally this is the idea, Sanatana Dharma, but now generally it is known as Hinduism. But actually it is not. Hinduism, it is a term given by Mughals when they came here. I think you all know the story. So in all the Vedas, there is no term Hinduism. It is Sanatana Dharma. So now the question is, should we preach Sanatana Dharma? Should we propagate Sanatana Dharma or not? That is the question. So before we understand should we preach or not, but what is Sanatana Dharma first of all? Sanatana, this word is there in all Indian languages, everyone know. Sanatana means eternal. There is no beginning, there is no end. Eternally it is there. Sanatana Dharma. And what is Dharma? Dharma is occupational duty. Srila Prabhupada translates Dharma as occupational duty or characteristics. So Dharma, Prabhupada gives one example that sugar. What is the Dharma of sugar? Who can say? Sweetness, not for devotees. So generally the sweetness, that is the Dharma of sugar, the characteristics. So if you take away sweetness from sugar, like you take a sugar and put in your mouth, it is very spicy. So nobody can say, this is a sugar. So that is the characteristics, sweetness. So when you take away the sweetness, then it is not, we cannot call it as a sugar. So in that way, it is a Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, means the eternal occupational duty of the soul. It is not in a bodily platform, it is in the spiritual platform. It is connected to the soul. Sanatana Dharma. The occupational duty of the soul is to serve the Lord, serve Krishna. That is the occupational duty of the soul. So in Bhagavatam it is mentioned, Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adoksache Ahaituki Apratihata Ayatma Suprasidati. So what is the Dharma, eternal occupation of soul? It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo. The supreme occupational duty of the soul is Yato Bhaktir Adokshaja. Bhakti. We have to do bhakti to Adokshaja. Who is Adokshaja? It's Krishna. We have to engage in the devotional service of the Lord, Supreme Lord Krishna. This is the eternal occupational duty of the soul. This is Sanatana Dharma. So now, this is the actual position of the soul. But now people are not in this position. They are deviated. But now people are not, they are deviated from the path, deviated from the actual path. So now we can say like we are corrupted. We are not in the actual position. So it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Surya Sama Maya Andhakar. Krishna is compared as the sun, and Maya is compared as the darkness. Okay. So where there is sun, there is no darkness. So here if we go out, we cannot see, it's everything dark, without light, without some like external light, we cannot see anything. Some electricity is required because it is darkness, there is no sun. So when there is sun, there is no darkness. Correct? So in same way, Krishna is compared as sun. So where there is sun, there is no Maya. But now people are not in actual position, they are deviated. Means they are not serving Krishna, they are serving Maya. Correct? So then what is Maya? Like we discussed in the previous sessions. What is Maya? Maya means which is not. Maya, which is not. That is the literary meaning of Maya. Maya means illusion. It is like illusion. We are thinking that if I do this, I will be happy. But actually there is no happiness. If I do this activity, I will be satisfied. But actually there is no satisfaction. And like for example, if you would have drive a car in the highway roads, in the hot sun, you go and very far you will see some water. But that is a mirage. It looks like there is water, but actually there is no water. You drive, go a little near, and there is no water. And again water appears somewhere far. Again you drive little further, again you will see water somewhere far, but actually there is no water. This is a mirage. There is illusion. It is looking like there is water, but actually there is no water. So in that way, we are thinking that we are happy, we are satisfied, I have no problem. But actually we are not. Actually it is an illusion. And we are thinking that whatever bodily happiness we get, so that is we are thinking that okay, I am happy. But actually we are not body, we are soul. So this is Maya. Now we are trying to be satisfied by this illusory happiness, which is not happiness at all. It is like a coated happiness coated, but actually it is not happiness. Inside it is all so much dirty things are there. So the conclusion is, so when someone is not engaged in the service of Krishna, they are serving Maya. So this in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned as a perverted reflection. In the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakha. So all these words we can understand. Urdhva means above. We say this, our tilak is Urdhva Pundra. Urdhva Pundra means it's going above. Means generally, basically Vaishnavas, they try to go to Vaikuntha. So Urdhva, above. Urdhva Moolam Adha Shakha. Urdhva means above. And Moolam means the source, the root. And Adha means downwards. And Shaka means branches. So here it is mentioned that the root is above and the branches are growing towards down. It is mentioned. So that is the perverted reflection. So where we can see this kind of image, if you go to a water body, like a pond or somewhere, like a water body, and nearby there is a tree. You see in the water body the reflection of the tree. So that is what it is, it's called perverted reflection. So the root is on top and the tree branches, everything is growing down. It is like a perverted reflection. So that is what we are experiencing in this material world. In this material world, everything, whatever we are thinking, happiness, satisfaction, everything is perverted. We are thinking that we are happy, we are thinking that we are satisfied, but actually it is not. So when someone is not situated in his actual position, some education is required. Like, this is not your position. You have to correct yourself, you have to come to your actual position. Some education is required. This is not the actual thing. We are in Maya, we are in illusion. So actually that education is known as preaching. So now people are in a deviated path. To put them in the right path, put them online, that is preaching. So now Whenever we go meet people, we say, no, like you read Bhagavad Gita, you practice spiritual life, you chant Hare Krishna, we say. Because they are not practicing spiritual life, they are in the materialistic life. So to put them in the line, so that is preaching. Like for example, we write exam, so there is an invigilator. What do you say? The corrector who is putting marks. Invigilator is the overseer, like during exam. And who is correcting the paper? Evaluator, okay. So he sees like whatever mistakes we done, so he shows, no, these are the mistakes you have done, you have to correct it. No? And even to put it in a simpler way, like we do like computer programming, many are working as a, there are some errors. You fix the error, then the program will run. What we say bugs, you fix the bugs, then output is correct. So these are the bugs. To clear the bugs, to clear the errors, that is what preaching. So we are now in illusion. We are in the covering of illusion, covering of material nature. So when we remove the covering, removing the process, that is preaching. So that knowledge we have to spread among the people. Spreading that knowledge, that is preaching. Like in the Vedanta Sutra, it is mentioned, the first sutra is Atatu Brahma Jignasa, to inquire about the absolute. So that is the knowledge. So in the human form of life, one should inquire about the absolute truth. But in the animal life, we cannot do this. In the animal life, their intelligence is limited. They cannot think above the limit. So their limit is what? Where will I get food? So if I feel sleepy, where can I sleep? Where can I have sex? If someone is disturbing, then how can I defend myself? So this is what their limit. So after that they cannot think. Their intelligence is not that much capable of thinking things which is beyond this limit. So that is their limit. But human form of life is not like this. So we have intelligence which is not like animal intelligence. No. We have higher intelligence. So with the higher intelligence, we have to understand things which is beyond all these limits. Like dogs, cats, they are satisfied with that. If I get food, if I get some place to sleep, if I have sex, then if I have some, if I defend myself when someone disturbs, it's okay, that's it. That is what their life. But now, the human beings, we are doing it in a sophisticated way. Like Prabhupada says that a dog is eating on the street. We eat dining table, say cook something nice, palatable thing, and you eat. But after eating, the satisfaction what we are getting and the dog is getting is same. Your hunger is satisfied. But the way we do things, that is sophisticated. So it is a sophisticated animal life, we can say. So that is not the human form of life. The human form of life is higher than animal form of life. It's like we are leading an animal form of life in human form. So that should not be the human form of life. Human form of life is meant for inquiring about the higher things, which is absolute truth. That is a human form of life. So in human form of life, one should be intelligent enough to ask, who am I? Why I have come into this world? What is my duty? What is the supreme controller? Who is the supreme controller? And what is the difference between a dull matter and a living entity? So these kind of inquiries we should have. So this is higher intelligence. So it is like this, like even if you see like a dog is going on the street, immediately you take a stone, what it will do? It will run away. Correct? So it has an intelligence. If someone takes a stone, immediately it can understand that someone is going to throw a stone on me. So I have to protect myself. So now we are also doing the same thing. We are having bank balance and these things. We are constructing a house to protect ourselves, defending. So this is sophisticated life. So this is not the human form of life actually. So it is said that one who is simply conscious of the body is no better than an animal, even though he is in the human form of life. It is said Dvipada Pashu. Dvipada, Dvi means two. Dvipada Pashu. Pashu means animal. So two-legged animal is mentioned. So this education is required. So we have to spread this knowledge among the human society. So that spreading knowledge is known as preaching. Preaching about Sanatana Dharma. So now people are in materialistic life, or even we can say animalistic life, or I can say we are in ignorance. Ignorance is darkness. Knowledge is light. So knowledge, it doesn't mean that whatever we are studying in our academics, in schools, colleges, that is not knowledge. So knowledge means which will take us out of ignorance and put us in light. That is knowledge. So otherwise, we cannot say this is a knowledge. Like for example, you study medicine. So in medicine, what they teach, like what is heart, what is lungs, how to operate, what are the body parts and issues. I don't know about medicine. Anyway, these are only bodily things they teach. What is this body? That is what they teach. Like for example, if you study civil engineering, what they teach, how to construct a building. So constructing a building, it is not knowledge, it is, you can say it is an art, correct? How to construct a building, how to cure a disease, or you can say how to cook. That is also they are teaching now. So this is all you can say as a art. This is not knowledge. Knowledge is something beyond material things, spiritual knowledge, Atma Jnana. So who am I? Why I am suffering? Why I am taking birth and death? How to stop this cycle? How to stop this birth-death cycle? So it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Jatasya hi dhruvam mrityur, dhruvam janma mritasya cha. Whoever has taken a birth, they are sure to die, and whoever has died, they are sure to take birth. But actually we are not meant to do this. We are eternal, we are soul. But why we are stuck in this cycle? How to stop this cycle, birth-death cycle? This is knowledge. So this knowledge is required to be really happy. So everyone is looking for happiness, but we are not happy, we are not satisfied. So why it is like this? This knowledge we have to spread among people. So this knowledge is there in our Sanatana Dharma. So this preaching is required, because people are thinking that I am okay, I am well situated, but actually they are not. They are all in illusion. So this spreading of this knowledge is required. This preaching is required. So then, how to do that? That's the question. How to do that? How to spread this knowledge? Then Prabhupada said the best way to preach is to distribute Srila Prabhupada books. By distributing books, everyone gets this knowledge. Prabhupada said that your 1 hour lecture may not change their consciousness. You give my one book, they will read and they'll become Krishna conscious. So by spreading these books, by spreading our Shastra, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so in that way we can spread the awareness among the people. Like it is said, how the communism has spread, you know that? So no one has come here to spread. They just supplied book. And everyone read the book, they understood what is communism and they started adopting, and that's how it came. So in that way, the same weapon we have to use to spread the Shastra, to spread Bhagavad Gita, to spread Bhagavatam, to spread this knowledge. By spreading books, we can preach. This is the best way to preach. So when we go every day we go out, we go to houses, we go to shops, we go to public places, and we ask them to take Bhagavad Gita, take our Shastra, start reading. So in that way we can do this. Then when we go out, there are many people, they oppose. So why you are doing this? Don't do this. It's like you stop preaching. No need to preach. If we are interested, we will take. No need to preach like this. But actually, it is not like this. Because people are in ignorance, and we have to show the light. Like it is said, "Oh Ajnana Timirandasya." We are in Ajnana. Jnana is knowledge. Ajnana is ignorance. When people are in ignorance, that light is required. The Guru is the one who shows the torch light. So then this knowledge is required. People are in Ajnana. Then this knowledge is required. We have to spread it. So when they say stop preaching, it is not like Maya is there, like everywhere. Like when you go on the street, you will see so many billboards. Like you buy this, buy that, buy this car, buy this phone. So this is a preaching, right? This is preaching of Maya, you can say. How to enjoy this material world. How to be satisfied in this material world. How to be content. Whatever I have, it is okay, I am okay. I have no problem. So this is Maya's preaching. You get this, you will be happy. You do this, you will be happy. You go here, you will be happy. This is advertisement, correct? This is Maya's advertisement. So when Maya is doing advertisement, then why can't we? We can also do. Like even if you, like 2 days back we were traveling in the Uber, we booked a cab, and in the seat they have a monitor. Whatever you want you can see. So this is an advertisement, correct? You can enjoy. This is Maya's advertisement. So then as a preachers of Sanatana Dharma, we should advertise. We should advertise our Shastra. So in that way, we have to preach, we have to advertise. And when we go, generally people say that don't force. When we show Bhagavad Gita to someone, no, I am not interested. Immediately we should stop. But we won't stop. We tell them, no, this is good. You start reading. You push little bit. Then immediately they say, no, don't force. If I am not interested, just leave it. Why you are forcing? Actually, this force is required. Like for example, small kids, they are not interested to take medicine because medicine is bitter, correct? But then parents, they won't allow. Okay, if you are not interested, okay, leave it. Nobody will say like this. You have to take this medicine because it is good. It is good for the health. So they force little bit. So even though they say that we are not interested, but still some force is required. You take it. You have to take it. This is good. You understand what is our Sanatana Dharma. So then when they force, they get disturbed. And many say that, no, I don't have time, I don't have money. So even today we met one person and he said, no, I don't have money to buy Bhagavad Gita. But he has a lot of tattoos in his hand and all over the body. I said, you spent a lot of money for the tattoo. How much you spent? He said, 18,000 I spent. He spent 18,000 to put tattoo all over his body. But he didn't have 400 rupees to buy one Bhagavad Gita. So then we said, no, you spent a lot of money for this. Why don't you take a Bhagavad Gita? Start reading. Anyway, he didn't take. But our duty is to tell this. Now this is not correct. You are spending a lot of things in sense enjoyment, material enjoyment. So you take this and little push is required for that. And then sometimes even they say that it is you should not force, and sometimes it becomes little quarrel. Why you are doing this? You should stop doing this. So actually it is said preaching means fighting, because we are proposing something which is against their wish. So they didn't want to do this, but we are forcing you do this. It is good for you. So then some preaching means fighting. So you are putting a philosophy which is against. They don't like to take it, but still you have to do it. So then some what do you say? Some arrogant, but showing arrogant to propagate this dharma. So Prabhupada says that non-violence. Non-violence means not preaching. Non-violence means it is not that no, I'll be silent, I'll not talk to anyone. No, that is not non-violence. I'll not disturb anyone. That is not non-violence. Now, non-violence means you become violence to preach Krishna consciousness. That is non-violence. So in that way, preaching means fighting. So we have to now cut all these arguments and try to push little bit. So for that, it is more than the preaching activity, the preachers are required now. So Prabhupada says in one of the purport in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So there he said that many more young intelligent people are required to propagate this Sanatana Dharma. So many more young intelligent people. You're all young. I mean, we are all young. I'm also young. So we should take up this to this preaching activity. So every day we go out, everyone is free to join us. You can come, you can distribute books. So one of our devotee, he comes to us regularly, and whenever he comes, he fills one carton box. He takes book to his house, he keeps a stock. So wherever he goes, in the bus, in the cab, wherever he goes, he tries to show a book. And whenever he gets free time, he goes to shop and he shows books. Sometimes he gets night shift, and daytimes I'm free, I'm going out and spreading these books. So he does this. So we can also take up this. So now, how to preach? By distributing books. And then now the question comes, why to preach? So now I got this knowledge, I will follow Sanatana Dharma, I will make myself proper. So then why I have to preach? Why I have to take this responsibility of preaching? So then Shastra says why we have to preach. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that Tavakatamritam tapta jivanam kavibir idritam kalmashapaham Shavanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvigrinantiye Bhuridajana. So the meaning is the nectar of your words and the descriptions of your activities are the life and soul of those suffering in this material world. These narrations transmitted by learned sages eradicate one's sinful reactions and bestow good fortune upon whoever hears them. These narrations are broadcast all over the world and are filled with spiritual power. Certainly, those who spread this message of Godhead are most munificent. So here it is said, Tavakata Amritam Tapta Jivanam. Tapta Jivanam means life for those aggrieved in material world. So everyone is suffering in this material world. Nobody can say that I am happy. If someone is saying that I am happy, then he is lying. So nobody can say that. Everyone is suffering in this material world. Maybe externally they can show that I am happy, but actually it is not happiness. Like a person, he has a big bungalow, so many cars, so many servants, and he comes out, he shows that no, I am a big man, so many servants, I have a lot of money. And to earn that money, he has to struggle a lot. And after struggling just for that flickering happiness to show to people, I have this much, for that they are working so hard. So this is not happiness. Externally it may look like happiness, but internally nobody can say that I am happy, I am satisfied. So everyone is tapta jivanam. Everyone is aggrieved in this material world. So what is the solution? Tava kathamritam. By the nectar words about the Lord. When we hear about the Lord, so then we can, this is a solution to come out of this material existence. It is said, kalmasha apaham. Kalmasha means we can understand the dirty things. So whatever dirty things we have in our heart, it all is sinful actions, sinful reactions, it's all drives away by hearing about the Lord. And it is said, Shravana Mangalam Srimad Atatam. Shravana Mangalam means giving the spiritual benefit. Mangalam means spirit benefit, spiritual benefit. And it is said, Bhuvi Grinantiye Bhuridajana. This is very important point. So here it is said why we have to preach about this Sanatana Dharma. So why we have to preach? Certainly those who spread the message of Godhead are most munificent. So Krishna considers like this. Like for example, a very rich father is there, and his son, he left his father, left all his wealth and everything, and he is just lying down on the street, loitering on the street. Then his father's friend comes to the son. He is saying that, no, why you are doing like this, why you are loitering on the street? Your father is so rich. You have nothing lacking, you have everything. So why don't you go back to your father? He is advising the son and bringing the son back to the father. So then the father is so happy. Okay, my son came back to me. So then the father, he likes the friend who brought the son back. Correct? Because he advised the son and he brought the son back. So now Krishna is saying that we are all sons of God, sons of Krishna. He is saying that Aham Bija Pradapida. I am the seed giving father of all living entities. So when someone is preaching to all the living entities, maybe we can preach only to human beings. So we preach and bring them back to Krishna. So who is preaching and bringing them back, all the living entities, who is very dear to Krishna? So when we become dear to Krishna, then there is what else is required? Everything is done. Like you become friend of the Prime Minister, then you don't have to work, you don't have to take care of yourself. Everything is done. But Krishna is the one who created so many Prime Ministers. It is just a material position. But when Krishna is favorable, then there is no need to worry about. So Krishna is saying that in Bhagavad Gita, Nacha tasmat manushyesu kaschit me priyakritamaha. So there is no one dear to me who is preaching this message. He said, Bhavita na cha tasmat anya priya taro bhuvi. He said, he is saying that there is no servant in this world more dear to me than he who is preaching the message of God, who is preaching Bhagavad Gita. And he said, nor will there ever be one more dear. Even in the future, no one will be very dear to me because he is preaching the message. He is preaching the message of Bhagavad Gita. And he is bringing back all the living entities who are materially contaminated, purifying. So he is very dear to me. So ultimately our purpose is to get rid of all this material contamination, to purify ourselves. So when we become dear to Krishna, then we don't have to try with our own effort. Then Krishna will take care. So it is like in one action you are doing the two things. So you yourself purified and you are purifying others also, and you are dear to Krishna. So in that way, preaching is very important. So that is the nature of a Vaishnava. So in one of the bhajan, it is mentioned that para dukkha dukhi. That is the nature of a Vaishnava. So if someone is suffering and a Vaishnava thinks that, oh, he is suffering, then I should help him. So that is the nature of Vaishnava. But in this material world, it is not like this. So everyone is thinking how to cheat others, how to get money from others. So that is the nature of this material world. But a Vaishnava, he doesn't think like this. If someone is in suffering, then I should help him. So ultimately, the supreme help, what we can do is preaching the message of Bhagavad Gita. By preaching the message of Bhagavad Gita, they understand what is actually the goal of life, and they come back to the actual position, to their constitutional position by serving Krishna. So in that way we can help them. This is the ultimate help. This is the highest welfare activity. Otherwise you give food to someone and they eat food, after 4 hours, 5 hours, again they will get hungry. You cannot supply food all their life. And if you build some hospital or you build some school, you give free education, free treatment, everything. But ultimately we are all going to die one day. This is a material body, it's a temporary body. One day we have to do it. We have to die. When we say something, people think that why you are speaking inauspicious things. It is not inauspicious things, it's a fact. Everyone is going to die one day. It's a temporary. So this is all a temporary help. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is a guru of Prabhupada. He says that if someone is drowning in the water, we should save him actually. But if you save his dress, you cannot say that, no, I saved him. You just saved his dress. You didn't save him actually. So in that way, all these bodily welfare activities, like you feeding poor, you build hospital, giving education, material education. This is all like a saving shirt and coat. We are not actually saving the person. So actually saving means you preach the message of God. You preach Bhagavad Gita. By getting this knowledge, their life will be successful. So in that way, this is the highest welfare activity we can do. So now we are discussing about should we preach or not. So now from the Shastras we can understand why we have to preach. This is the highest welfare activity we should do. So now there is no question of should we preach or not. We have to preach. We should preach. By distributing books. So it is said, Jarete ko tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. So whomever you meet, whoever you see, tell the instructions of Krishna. So in that way you become Guru. So in that way, we don't have to create anything. Whatever we hear from our Guru, whatever we hear from Bhagavad Gita, whatever we hear from Sadhu, whatever we hear from Acharyas, we just repeat the same thing. It's like a parrot. Whatever we hear from Guru, and we are just repeating the same thing. So in that way, whoever is hearing, they are getting benefit, and whoever is speaking, they are also getting benefit. Ultimately, we will get purified of all material contamination, and we will come to our constitutional position, and we can help others also to come to the constitutional position. So in that way, this is very important activity, the preaching activity. So as we said before, you all are welcome to join us. Every day you can come, whenever you have time, in however way possible you can do. And to preach, the first thing is we have to learn first of all. It is said Shravanam Kirtanam. Kirtanam means glorifying or speaking or chanting. And Shravanam means you hear. When you hear something, then you can speak. So for that, when someone's Shravanam is good, then his Kirtanam will be good, and his chanting will be good. So for that, first of all, we have to take up this knowledge. We have to read Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand the knowledge, we have to understand the philosophy. And when we understand, then we can spread this knowledge. When we ourselves don't understand, then we cannot preach. So we have to take this step. So we spread this knowledge, like we have Bhagavad Gita here, and before Bhagavad Gita there are many small books compiled by Prabhupada. It's all based on Bhagavad Gita. Like for example, directly if someone reads Bhagavad Gita, he may not understand. Like Krishna says, you have to approach a guru and you serve him as a menial servant, and this knowledge is revealed to you. So it is by default, it is understood that Krishna, so Arjuna, he knows who is guru, who is bona fide guru, like that. But we don't know. So then there are many small books. It is helping us to understand Bhagavad Gita more clearly. So here we have books behind Bhagavad Gita, and there are many other small books. We have to take up this knowledge first, read, understand, and when you read, if you have some questions, we can discuss, understand the philosophy. So then we can preach this to others. This is the highest welfare activity we can do. So it is good for us and good for others also. Hare Krishna. If there are any questions, comments?
I have a doubt, like if my friends are atheists and all.
Sorry?
If my friends are atheists and like they're completely against the things.
Yeah.
How to convince them, or how we can offer them the books or science freaks, basically, who actually want explanation for everything.
Yes.
The proper knowledge and everything, proper logic.
Yes.
How we can give them.
Yeah. So the first point I'll answer. If someone is atheist, so they are not at all ready to hear. So then it is, if we speak, like there is one verse, Upadesho hi murkhanam. There is one verse, I don't remember the entire verse. So if you give instruction to a murkha, who is murkha? Foolish person. If you give instruction to a foolish person, he will go against the instruction. He will do opposite to whatever we are saying. There is no use of giving instruction to a foolish person. So to them, we have to use some indirect way. Like indirectly you can give them some prasadam. Prasadam is so purifying. It is like a medicine. We all have disease, bhavaroga. Bhavaroga is material disease. So this prasadam is like a medicine. Regularly when we take prasadam, it's purifying. So when we take prasadam regularly, slowly their consciousness changes. Then they can understand whatever we are saying. So till that time, it's like we are a foolish person. We cannot say anything to them. So like you can get some prasadam from temple. Like if you are taking it regularly prasadam, like every day you can give them. You don't have to say that this is a prasadam. It's from temple. You just say that you take some food. By taking prasadam regularly, their consciousness is purified. Then at least they will be hearing. Then we can preach a little bit. And the other point what you asked is, for everything they want proof. They are into science. And you show me the proof, then I will understand. Like for example, if you go to a chemical lab, there is one acid and another acid. You mix both and the result you will get something. It's like this. So there is a process. You have to apply the process, then you will get the result. Correct? So without doing the process, you show me the result. How can I show? It's a procedure is given. This is one acid, this is one alkaline. You mix together and then you will get the result. So to follow the spiritual science, there is a process. So regularly you chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There is a process. You do the process, you take prasadam regularly, you associate with devotees, you read spiritual books, you apply the process, then you will get the result. So proof means we cannot just blindly show the proof. You have to apply the process, you follow the process, then you will get the result. So you insist them to follow the process. Then it will be proved. It's an experience, You have to experience yourself. So I am telling about my experience. I am following spiritual life. I am telling my experience, but you cannot understand my experience. You have to experience yourself. Correct? Like for example, there is a gulab jamun. I am explaining to you how a gulab jamun looks like. It's round shape, it's brown color, it's soft, it's very sweet. Now, whatever I tell, you will not be able to experience it. Correct? You take one gulab jamun and put in your mouth, then you can understand. Correct? So in that way, you follow the process, you apply the process, then you will get the result. hope I answered your. Any other question?